Hi, this is MrByZ, and today we are going to take a look at the Legacy Collection Millennium Falcon. In other words, the big Millennium Falcon. So here it is, one of the coolest toys we've ever gotten from Hasbro with the big Millennium Falcon. And this came out in 2008. We were all looking forward to it. I know that launch night, it was actually a midnight launch for the new Clone Wars stuff as well. This was the only thing I went out and bought that night. I knew I had to have this. I thought about buying a second one when they did the vintage box, but they were just too expensive and I never did. But this is one heck of a vehicle. It is very cool. I'm going to try and show you all the features on this. We'll start here on the exterior. So there's a little thing right here that you can turn this back and forth, and you can move the radar dish, which is pretty cool. There's a switch right here. If we move this back and forth, it moves the guns back and forth. Now you notice it's got these little things sticking up right here. Basically what happens, as you can see, once you hit those, it fires on them. Now, when we have the sounds on, like that. So we get all that, which is pretty cool. Let me check out the cockpit here. Now, I noticed this when I opened this up last time. Some of my decals are actually completely falling off now. Now, this has, been sitting in my collection for, gosh, 10 years now. But, so I'll have to get some adhesive to put some of these decals back on because they do look good on it. There's a Han Solo blaster in here, too. But as you can see, in the cockpit, my hands out of the way. We have room to fit 4 figures. It came with a Han Solo and Chewbacca to put in there, but you can actually put 2 more in there in those back chairs as well. Pretty well detailed cockpit. Far better than any other Falcon as far as cockpit goes. I think we've got let's get the lights in there. Got lights that come on in there and everything, which is pretty cool. You can hear the sounds it makes while it's doing this. And the interior of the cockpit has a little bit of detail on this too. Obviously that's where some of those stickers came from, it looks like, so I'll have to get those reattached. It does have room for 3 missiles up front. I know I have these somewhere. With the move and everything, I just don't know where they've ended up, so they're not there right now. It does make a sound when you press them, but just that little one. So if we go back to here, you can see we actually have lights on the front there, as we saw in the movie, and then the back lights up as well here, which is pretty darn cool too. A couple more features on the exterior here. Looking at the underside, we actually have that cannon that we saw pop out in Empire Strikes Back. If I can get this to pop out right. Excuse my son crying. My wife is taking care of him. So we have the cannon that pops out and it can swivel and fires a missile as well. We have the underside cannon as well, which it does move about, but it doesn't make the noise and everything. And then it has all these landing gear. Usually when you find used sets, it's missing the landing gear. These fall off really easily. In fact, I'm not going to try and put that back on right now. But, I mean, you can see all the extra stuff underneath here and just the extra detail that we get. There's still one of the coolest things I always like that this does. You press this button here. You get the ramp lowering with lights and sounds, which is pretty cool. Now the interior, there's quite a bit to it. There's 2 panels that come off here to let us really take a look at the interior. Far bigger than anything we ever got with any other Falcon. Now there's supposed to be a floor piece here. I haven't found that yet in the move, so it'll come about some point and put it back in there. We have kind of the little med station, little bed here where Luke lays in Empire at the end of Empire. We have these doors that open up. They don't really go anywhere. There's very little detail in there. I can kind of reach my hand in there. It's just to kind of continue the look. You can see we have this up a little bit. We have a gunner chair inside, and it's angled up so that the gunner would be going up here. We have the little diagnostics computer right here. The Dejeric table with the couch. We do have a training remote here. We got another false floor right here to use. Oops, I just took off the training remote. And this area does not open up. I'll show you what's back there in a minute. But I mean, it looks like we have another seat right in there. There's all sorts of sounds on this thing. Obviously, I played this one. Unfortunately, when you play it, it won't stop. So while it's doing that, there is an escape ship. As you see, we get the sounds for it. Pop this out. We get this nice little ship. It's almost like what Rey escaped on in Last Jedi, but it is a little one-man escape ship. Pretty cool to have that. We got a couple buttons here. As you can see, that's lighting up the table.
It's not wise to upset a Wookiee.
I suggest a new strategy, R2. Let the Wookiee win.
It's not wise.
If you hold it down, you get the whole
I suggest a
conversation.
new strategy, R2. Let the Wookiee win.
Okay, we have this one.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
So you see the sounds are very loud.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
With the blast shield down, I can't...
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Now, as I said before, we could turn this. You notice this also turns the training remote inside, which is pretty cool. Our sounds are not done yet. We go over here, we got 3 more buttons. Okay, that sounds like the takeoff that we were getting earlier with the other button. Pass over like on Yavin 4. Let's just hit 1. And we can get the blaster sounds here.
Hold him off. Angle the deflector shield while I charge up the main gun.
If you hold them down, sometimes you get different things.
Okay, stay sharp.
Don't worry. She'll hold together. Got him! I got him! Great, kid! Don't get cocky! That's it! We did it! Hold him off. Angle the deflector shield while I charge up the main gun.
I think that's back to the beginning, right?
Okay, stay sharp.
Don't worry. She'll hold together.
So we'll just get the same thing there. I know. There we go. Hyperdrive fail. Always got to have that. So obviously this is one of the coolest ships ever made. It's become pretty expensive on the secondary market. I know they run, I want to say, at least $500 at this point, when it was $125 to begin with 10 years ago. But so cool. The figures, I mean, they're considered exclusive, but not really. I know there are a Han and Chewie that come with the radio headsets, which I know those have been released separately elsewhere as well, so it's not really that exclusive. So the figures aren't that big a deal. So all in all, like I said, awesome set. If you don't have one of these in your collection, you probably should, because it is definitely the Hasbro vehicle that they've done, possibly until next year. So that is a look at the big Millennium Falcon. This has got to be, I think, my favorite toy of all time. I still remember being so excited to get this when it was launched with the Clone Wars line. I really wanted this, and I've loved it ever since. I meant to buy more. I don't know why, but I just never got around to it. And, of course, now they're so expensive, I'm not going to get around to that anymore. I doubt we'll ever get a Millennium Falcon that is this cool again, unfortunately. But, wow, what a great vehicle. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. I'm doing some reviews. I have been doing them a little fewer recently just because I've been sick and dealing with all sorts of different things. But, you know, if you subscribe, you'll get those reviews automatically. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. If I missed something, if I said the wrong thing, go ahead and post it. You know, it's okay. And, you know, I thank you so much for watching. I try to put these out to help collectors out there and let them see maybe something they didn't know about, or maybe find something new on their own items that they did not know about yet. So, you know, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you join me again next time.